Okay, there should be sound now. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. Okay, great. Yeah, that was totally my bad. I didn't have it hooked up. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm not used to doing it on YouTube, so sorry about that. Hey Declan, see you next weekend at Athens. Yep, that's right. Pippo Calavera. I'm literally packing once I have this finished. Actually, do you think people will buy English language stuff? Because I've got some comics, but I don't know how many. I haven't been to Athens in years, so I can't remember. Sometimes with European countries, they they'll wait for the foreign language edition, and so I'm not sure if I should bring much comics. Book top up yet? I couldn't get the link to work. I have not booked it yet. I haven't decided if I'll go. I probably will. It's a bit more of a pain for me to get to from this side of the country. I have to get like a 4-hour bus across the country to get the plane. So that's why I skipped it last year, but the year 2013. But I really enjoyed it last year, so. Okay. Oh, wow, Victor. Oh, hey, man. I didn't know you were going to... Actually, you know what? I actually don't know who's going to... I only know Casper Wingard is going to be at Greece because I'm friends with him and I checked in with him. Oh, that's great. Nice one. Yeah, I get in tomorrow around 2 o'clock. I don't know when you'll get there, but oh, that's great. Sorry, I'm not great with avatars. Yeah, I've just booked my taxi for the morning, so I leave here at 6 a.m. So I think I'm just gonna work and pack, and then just get the head for the airport. Oh, no. Yes, I am bad with avatars, but I know you will. No worries. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Greece because I haven't been there in a long, long time. I've actually been a couple of times. Once for a convention years and years ago. I'd say I just started at Marvel at the time. And the second time it was actually a cruise with my girlfriend and my mum. I was going to say at the time, my girlfriend at the time, my mum then and still. Though she was just saying to me she's jealous that I'm going to Greece, but she came with me last time and all she did was complain about all the steps, so you know. Doing a signing in Birmingham next weekend with Charlie Edward. Should be fun. Are you doing any UK cons this year? I'm actually going to Birmingham in May. Well, it's technically it's Wolverhampton. I'm doing a signing in Wolverhampton for Free Comic Book Day. Other than that, I'm not down for any UK ones As of I just am I down for them? No, not yet. Anyway. I was talking to your man from whatchamacallit. Your man from whatchamacallit. Jeff from Close Encounters, the Bedford show, because I was there years ago, and I would, it'd be fun to go back, but I don't know if that'll happen or not. If there's nothing on in the UK, I'll definitely do Thought Bubble then, because I always want to do a UK show once a year. And I'm feeling very self-conscious with Victor watching. I have to say. I wish I just thought he was Pippo Cavallera. Are you used to do YouTube streams? No, Victor. I do YouTube streams for that. I do. If you look at my page, you will see I do an interview kind of show. So that's it. I don't really draw live streaming on YouTube. I've done it via Twitch sporadically here and there, but I think somebody asked if I would try it on YouTube, and since I upload everything I do on Twitch to YouTube, I figure I'll just try it once and see. For me, mainly it's if anyone's watching that I can talk to, because it's nice to have a bit of company, and I'm glad my accent is understandable, even though I have a bogger Irish accent. Where are you from again, Victor? I can't remember. You're not from Greece, are you? Are you doing the signing at Wolverhampton, Will? Oh, near Barcelona. Okay, yeah. No, I didn't think you were. I get mixed up sometimes with the Spanish and the Italians, but I was sure you weren't. I didn't think you were Greek. Barcelona's lovely. I've been there a couple of times. Oh, you're doing the signing? Oh man, jeez, for Free Comic Book Day. When did you say you're doing it? Oh no, you're doing it next weekend. Okay. You're doing the Wolverhampton signing for New Comic Book Day, right? I have to book that actually to book my flight. Gotcha. Yeah, oh, that's great, man. I just knew Alex Packnadell is doing it. I'm like, oh, great. I'm not on my, because I thought it was on my own. Great, man. Jeez, we'll have a great time. So. Excellent. Oh man, that's great, because sure, I'd say in some ways that'll even be better than a con, because it'll just be a bit of work and then hanging out afterwards. Oh, yeah. I did get an email about having to do a video. I actually forgot about it, because I've been trying to wrap up my stuff. So it's probably a bit late now. That stuff is very embarrassing. Like, I always make a mess of those things. I sound professional for like 20 seconds, and then it just turns into a disaster. Although I hope I see yours. Just realised how full of myself I must have sounded. I was like, I thought the signing was just me. But I did a signing with them in Glasgow on my own, so I just assumed that was what was happening again. Oh, hey, Rogue. Yeah, I'm just trying to use. I think you know I normally do a Twitch, but I just thought I'd try out YouTube. Give it a lash. Yeah, everyone hit the like button. That's how it works. I don't know. I was just visiting my cousin who has like 3 small kids, and one of them's really into drawing. So I was just calling around and drawing with him, drawing a Spider-Man. And man, they all know the YouTube stuff. I haven't a clue. But yes, smash the like button. Well, I'm going to try and get for New York this year. Reese's trip made me jealous. Well, he seemed to do quite well from it, didn't he? And I'm glad, because I think I was kind of, I won't say bullying him, but strongly suggesting was worth trying, and he seemed to do. I mean, I think I just saw him for a second, but if I recall, he got like a crit from Todd McFarlane and stuff, and like, brilliant, fair play. But yeah, I'm glad, because it is an expense. But I personally I think it's worth it. It's just I think it's the best American networking show, because just everyone's there. So no matter what, you'll get something out of it. So what tiers are we working on right now, or is it all writing? It's actually, yeah, it's all writing and covers at the moment. I just finished Mystique a couple of weeks ago, just after Christmas, and I'm pretty tired. So I am. I'm talking to a couple of different people about maybe doing something this year. But in the meantime, I'm kind of behind on scripts, so I need to kind of catch up and try get ahead script wise, and have covers, some drawing covers and writing scripts. And in February, I'm going to write a new like Old Dog chapter, like maybe like a 48-page type thing, and draw that. And I'm hoping by the time I have that drawn, I'll have like something lined up for the rest of the year. It's my thinking. It's my strategy. Victor, am I bringing colours to the Athens show or just pencils and inks? Just pencil and inks. Victor, I'm not great with colour stuff. Yeah, it's not my strength. It's not really my strength. So no, I'm just gonna go with what I'm doing right here, pretty much. I assume I'll be drawing the whole time. I don't really like drawing at shows too much anymore, but I assume that's what they'll be looking for. Thanks for all the questions. It keeps me going while I'm drawing. Glad to hear you're keeping Mulvey working. He deserves it. No, I've always thought Joe was really good, but nothing really seemed to like he'd get opportunities and then nothing would happen. And I find it very frustrating when there's talented people not working. For no other reason than just nobody's aware of them. So that's one of the advantages of doing like Thundercats is, if there's somebody good, I can go, hey, what about this guy? So yeah, I had him on an issue of Thundercats, and then he just handed in, or we just got to print new Terminator. So I'm dead. It looks great. I'm dead happy with it, and I also think his work looks really good in it too. I think it'll be a good portfolio piece for him, and hopefully it'll open some doors. Yeah, do you know what? It was weird, and he's a perfect fit for like what Drew does in the book. He's a little cartoonier maybe, but like within the same kind of wheelhouse. So actually, I just think it worked really, really well. Rogue or Rook. I'm not sure how to say that. Roku. Misty question. I didn't know until your series that she mimicked powers as well as appearances. When did that first happen? I must have missed that. All right. Your mileage may vary. I think it depends on what you're looking at and what you're reading. I would say that she doesn't. She doesn't mimic powers. She only mimics appearances. So if you notice in the first issue, it's all like tactical. But Rocky, okay. But in issue 3, she's used Fabian Cortez to enhance her powers, which is why she's now able to do it. That's my approach. I think there's some books where she has, and there's other books where she hasn't. But my approach is that she just mimics her appearances, which is why it's never. I don't really have her shifting into a character that has like a power set outside of strength or agility or like military. But that shifts gear in issue 3 because she uses Fabian Cortez and then is surprised that she's able to use the Magneto powers. Oh hey Dennis, when are you going to steal Justin Mason back from Marvel? He keeps getting better and better. Well, I think there's your answer, man. I'd probably never. He's flying it at Marvel. I'm delighted for him, but I'm also like, son of a bitch. No, he's doing great. It was also really cool because we just did a kind of a secret crossover in Mystique and his Sentinels book, so I was able to draw his characters, which I just got a kick out of that. I thought was really cool. a chance to say it to you, Rocky, but I saw that big video you did about my stuff, and it was really cool. Thanks so much. Those times you were like, oh, I'm not sure what he's doing this or when he did that, and I was there watching the video going, I did it in January. Forget it, that's not how YouTube videos work, but it was really nice of you, man. Thank you. So it's nice to know anyone's paying attention. Oh, do you ever use reference much when you're drawing figures / characters, or mostly out of your imagination? I would say it's probably 50-50. Like, I'm looking at a cover of something that's killing the children right now, but I'm not copying it. Wish I could show you. Actually, hang on, maybe I can. Is this go? Where is it? Yeah, so I'm looking at, where is it? This right now, but you can see that's not the drawing. You know, I'm making it my own. Let me see, get that right again. So I'm looking at that to kind of get the feel of the character, because you know, someone like that, it could just look like a normal, boring girl or whatever. So I'm trying to get a sense of how the artist kind of gives that character its own look, and then the rest, but she's more of a real looking, out of my head. Sometimes I might look like at a real model or something, or a real reference to, like, in general, anything I draw in covers or any figure work is all, I would say 95% of it has some photo reference behind it. I've hurt myself a couple of times, but I say I would reference nearly everything, but not to the point where I'm just drawing the photo, if that makes sense. Wish I could think of a specific example. Like, say everything in Mystique, like I would pose for it myself, and then I would change the drawing. With the Old Dog novella, do you plan on doing one a year, or is it more fluid? That's a good question, Dennis. Honestly, more fluid, because I don't know what will happen between now and then. Sorry, now and the next one. But I think ideally I would like to do like at least one a year. I think I'd really like to do 2 a year, but that's probably not practical. I can always in my head say, oh, I'd love to do this, but then I kind of forget, well, you're writing this and you're drawing this and you did this many covers, and I have to kind of remind myself that it's like I'll think of like my workload as pages, and that's all that I do, and completely forget that like it takes a week to write a script, or it takes 2 days to do a cover, or whatever it is. And then I'll get frustrated with how little storytelling pages I'm doing, forgetting that I've done so much other stuff. So I kind of screw myself over that way. But yeah, I would say I'd like to at least do one Old Dog novella, and then maybe, you know, there's other stuff I want to do too. You know, that I want to write, and draw. So I think it's probably the best way to do it and keep other stuff moving, rather than just do one thing all the time. Financially, I think it works better for me to have a few different irons in the fire. If that makes sense. Like, if I do the next novella, I don't know if I'll make any money on it in the short term, so it makes sense for me to have like work for hire stuff on the go too. But then that also means I can just take like a couple of months off from work for hire stuff and do Old Dog. You know, I get to I get the advantage of doing it on my own terms, which is great. And it also means if like I'm in a tighter spot, I can kind of hop over and do work for hire. I'm also at a stage where I kind of I just turned 43 there a couple of weeks ago, and you know, I was kind of thinking like if I'm ever going to do my excuse me, if I'm ever going to do my like bucket list type stuff, maybe I should try now, while while I'm not completely decrepit. Dennis, I'll be ordering it. Should be awesome to get a novella and perhaps another one-shot anthology again. Yeah, I'd say I would quite like to do another anthology, but I think I need to do a lot more Old Dog myself before that happens. If you know what I mean. I think it would be bad form if there's more anthology material than there is like of the actual original book. I think if I'm going to do fun stuff like that, I need to earn it, and in order to earn it, I need to actually have more book myself. I don't want to kind of take the piss with the readers, but it's great to know people will pick it up, man. Thank you so much. Oh, Rocky, I was curious because your figures always seem grounded in the world, but at the same time you still have a style. Oh, thanks, man. It's always interesting to hear other people's point of view, because it's very hard to analyze your own work in a completely unfiltered way. But yeah, I would say mine's grounded, and then I kind of will stylize it, if that makes sense. You're pretty on the money there, Rocky. Like, this hair is out of my head, but I used the original drawing as a kind of a base level. Where was I? Get a better look at her bandana. See how other people draw it. Where would you say your work ethic comes from? Because it always seems like you were working on 400 things at once in all aspects. I would say my work ethic comes from working a lot of jobs that were not remotely art related, and knowing that I'm really, really lucky to get to do what I do. I used to deliver coal, literally carrying bags of coal on my back and delivering them to houses all over my hometown here. I've worked in construction and demolition, and those are great incentives to be like, if I ever get to draw for a living, I am going to make sure that I work really hard at it. I talked to a friend once when I started work, when I was working portfolio. I wasn't working professionally, but I wanted to be doing comics, I started getting very kind of lazy, and a friend of mine asked why was I working harder at a job I hated than the job that I wanted to have, and that really stuck with me. And I kind of I don't know if Will or Victor feels like this, but just doing stuff is kind of my natural state. I never do nothing, or I'm never bored, because there's always something to do, and if I don't have something to do, I get a little antsy. I remember having a really hard time trying to arrange going on holiday once with a girlfriend, and then once I finally did, I found myself just itching to like go back to work and do stuff. So drawing comics enables whatever mental problems I have. And there's always something different to do, you know, like this stuff, this is fun, but I very rarely do it because there's 17 other things to be doing. So the hard thing I have is to try my best to compartmentalize the process. So like maybe I'm writing for a chunk of the day and then drawing for the rest of it, doing a cover, or spending a week doing sequential pages, because if I get distracted, my productivity suffers. So that's the kind of the problem I have more than anything else. But I guess ultimately I just can't bloody help myself. There you go. Rob says it. Will says it. Robson, I just have to create. I can't not be creating something in some way. Yeah, I'm the same. Just that I'll just try my best to plan and organize myself where I'm being the most productive, and not like wasting time, or being as efficient with my time as I can be, because you can, if you're not careful, the day goes by and then a week goes. Like, I'm actually concerned about that at the moment, because I don't have like a book that I'm actively working on, aside of say Thundercats and Terminator, that I months will go by and I won't have like a new book that I'm writing or drawing come together. So I'm okay for now. I've plenty of stuff to be doing, stuff I need to catch up on. I'm safe for like 3 weeks. Well, I'm safer for longer than that, because I know I'm going to do Old Dog next. But once I start doing the next Old Dog one shot, I'll want to know what the hell I'm doing next. And if I don't figure that out, I'll start going a bit mad. I don't know if that answers your question or not. Oh, me and Danny Earls is nice. I think the Irish guys, we do have a good work ethic. I look at guys like Victor, the Italian guys and the Spanish guys, and the level of quality of artists that come out of those countries is incredible. And I'm not putting down the Irish guys, but I would say maybe and I'm not putting down the Italian or Spanish guys either. But I think our work ethic is probably what is our strength. I'm not putting the other guys down. I don't know everyone else's work ethic, but I do think we're pretty good at that. Will and Mooney and all that I think we'd all pride ourselves on being on time and good to work with and all that. Victor, you're the kind of artist that can articulate a speech while you're working. Do you think that's rare? I'm glad you think so, Victor, because I don't think I can. Well, at conventions I can talk, no problem, and I can draw, but I can't draw and talk at the same time. I find it very hard. So I think it's rare, but I don't think I'm one of those people who can do it. I'm not much of a multitasker. See here now. gotta go. This is looking great. See you in Wolverhampton. Yeah, great, man. That's excellent. What? That's May, I think. Is it? Yeah, January, February, March. Well, it'll be May before too long. So I'll see you then, man. Looking forward to it. Dennis, I really appreciate the balance you found in writing and drawing your own books and writing for others. Not easy, and you've done an awesome job. Thanks very much, man. I saw somebody else mentioned Danny as well. I saw he posted a video about getting up at 6 in the morning and all that. I'm like, I'm not. I'm not getting up at 6 in the morning. Well, I am tomorrow morning, but that's because I won't be able to go to bed. Anyway, I appreciate that, Dennis. Thanks, man. I wish I could say it's all because I'm very, very organized. You know, like I look at guys like Hickman and Jeff Lemire, and they seem quite organized. You know, have it all figured out. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, to be honest. I'm just getting stuff in when it needs to be in. It's probably made things more stressful than it needs to be. I prefer be a bit more kind of together, but it's worked out okay so far. So, you know, I'm very lucky that I get to have a take on characters and then, you know, try work with people who I think are good. Maybe try get some people opportunities if possible. It's not always possible, but sometimes it is. And then go and do like, you know, Mystique or something, you know. Being able to write and draw is pretty great sweet spot to be in. It's I wish I could say it's all part of a master plan, but it's like I had aspirations, but whether or not that happens, it's basically trying to make the most of whatever opportunities come your way, you know. Have I seen the new Nosferatu movie? No, Victor, I haven't had a chance yet. It looks amazing. I saw The Northman, the last Roger Eggers movie, but no, haven't seen Nosferatu yet. It looks savage. Is that clean water in a brush and you're bleeding the ink line for the tone, or is it a grey wash? It's there's two grey washes. I have a light grey wash and I have a dark grey wash. So I'm starting with the light. This is the lighter one, and then there's the darker one here, and then there's water as well if I just need to dilute it down. So I'll kind of do light. Yeah, now. Did I mix them up? Not sure which is which now. I think this is the light one. Yeah, it's the light one. So I'll kind of just do like a base. You can always go darker, but you can't go lighter, you know. I don't know if that's even showing up in the. This could be a little too light, but there's a little tiny dab of the dark here now. Okay, so it's probably a little too dark. It's darker than what I'd like. So I will get you some just pure water now, and I'll just kind of soften it. Oh, it balances out. It's pretty much what I was going for, but a roundabout way. Like, you can fill this thing with a mix, but in my experience, Indian ink tends to clog the mechanism there, and then it just stops working. So that's when I just started just dipping it in solutions a few years ago, and it's just stuck with it since. And mix it around on my palm of my hand. It's actually a little too light. Do you have any USA shows scheduled already? I do actually, Victor. I have 3, not including New York, which I haven't scheduled yet, but I do that every year. So it would be 4 technically, I guess. How about you? Crap, it's a bit much. I don't know if I can say what I'm doing yet. I have one April and then a couple in June. Basically, I'm gonna go over and do 2 in a row. Do you do many European shows, Victor? No, I was hoping Kinetic would have scheduled something for me, but not yet. I didn't know you were Kinetic. I would say I booked 2 through Kinetic, but I actually just booked another one. But that was I did that myself, because I wanted to go to it. So I arranged it myself, but I will have Kinetic kind of work it out for me, you know. Yeah, one with Kinetic, one will be a GalaxyCon show, and another will be, I think, a fan expo, technically. But Oh, 2023 in the States. Oh, okay. I want to do more because I've become an indie creator. Needs to be noted. Well, yeah, we're all there. What are you working on at the moment? I mean, I'm sure Kinetic will help you get something together anyway. I try and keep my American shows limited just because it's so much travel and takes up so much time. But I do love going over. But I try to keep it like 3 or 4 a year. I'm pouring tea, by the way, in case anyone thinks I'm peeing. I'll just be very clear about that. Or I'm not. I think it sounds like I might be smoking a vape or something, but no, it's tea. I promise. See, there's my proof. Doing your first solo book, 120 pages. Ooh, wow, fair going, man. Bad idea. Interesting. Okay, I don't know what their deal is or anything. How's it going? How far are you? Are you going to do them in issues, or I'm not sure how bad idea work? I know it's okay. I know it sounds like I'm peeing, but I'm literally see, cup of tea. Do you know how many creators who are afraid to fly? It's a good question. I think I have one friend he told me he's afraid, but that's after I travelled with him like 20 times. He told me that. No, actual planes, I'm fine on planes. Planes don't bother me. For whatever reason. $120 pages. That's a lot, man. Good for you. Old Dog was like 130 something. But I think everybody should do it. Like, are you writing and drawing it yourself? Sorry, I'm just asking you questions here. For what it's worth, man, and I'll say it here publicly, I think you're an amazing artist. So whatever you're doing, I'll definitely pick it up. Yeah, because Bad Idea have their own way of doing things, don't they? They kind of they don't do crowdfunding, I don't think, but it's not through the direct I can't remember. I don't want to just make guesses. Probably not a bad doing this headsketch probably isn't a bad way to prepare for Greece tomorrow either. Tomorrow, oh, I can't believe I'm flying out tomorrow. Where's my okay? Yes, colouring and and colouring as well. Wow, I'm going to do 2 crowdfunding, one small in Spanish and Catalan, and then I will see what I will do for the US publishing. Oh, ha! Sorry, you're not doing it with Bad Idea. It was a bad idea. Gotcha. No, I don't think so, man. I think 120. I think more than that is too much. Personally, I think if you're going to do like are you doing it as a graphic novel or single issues? Either way, I think like I'm selling Old Dog it's 136 pages for $10. That was a mistake. That was a bad idea. I should have gone for a higher price point, but I wanted to make something um, like long enough and cheap enough. Um, and since it was just my work, it was nobody else working on it. I could take a chance on it. Um, but I think 120 is a nice solid amount. No one feels like they're getting not a lot of pages or not a lot of story. But it is a lot of work and colouring too. Boy. But for what it's worth, man, like Old Dog was so much work. I coloured it myself. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is insane. But I 100% am glad I did it. I'm really proud of it. For whether it's good or not is not for me to say, but it's something I felt like I had to do, and I did it, and I'm really proud of it. So it is a lot of work, but like you could be doing work at Marvel, and like you could be doing work at Marvel and nobody even knows, depending on what the book is. It's really hard to say, but if you're investing in yourself right now, and I think that's great. Good for you, man. Maybe 2 issues of approximately 70 pages, one and 60 the other. Okay. I mean, I think it probably makes sense to, if you're doing it via crowdfunder, to break it up. Like, I don't know what you think, Rocky. You probably have more experience getting Kickstarter books, but I see a lot of people doing single issues and doing crowdfunding for it, and I'm going like, what? That's a bit mad, isn't it? But people are doing it, and an artist can make a good bit of money working on the first half, and then crowdfund for the second half, rather than it all just be one crowdfunder and making less money. I mean, it depends. I don't know what the answer is. I certainly see the argument for just making more money across the board, especially when you're doing it all yourself, because it's just so much time and effort, and stress. Knowing that like you're covered money wise could be a huge relief, and just lets you concentrate on doing the book rather than like trying to hustle or what have you. I've done crowdfunders for like processy type books, but not an actual story. I thought about maybe doing it this year, but I don't know. I would think maybe if I did an actual comic book rather than a process book, it would do much better. But maybe it would do just the same, and if it did, it wouldn't be very profitable. So, because I think the Kickstarter audience is, it's different from your mainstream audience, and it's a hard one to gauge. But good for you for doing it, man. I'm excited about meeting you guys there. I want to have a good time with you, but also learn. I mean, I know what you're going to learn from me, man. You're already fucking amazing. But I'm going for the fun. I just want to hang out and like eat and have drinks and just talking to artists is the best part of doing conventions. So yeah, me too, man. I can't wait. Acting done most of my career. Well, none of us are too smart. Your Ink Pulp podcast appearance was very educative. Was it really? I have no idea what I said. Sorry. I instantly forget what I said on podcasts once I've done them. But I'm very glad it was a help. How so? I do think we all need to talk about our like careers more because as artists we kind of end up just floating around and taking whatever opportunities come your way, but we're not the best at like planning things or having strategies. I think writers tend to do it more, but that's probably because artists are too busy drawing. They don't have the time to come up with this stuff. Mm-hmm. The beauty with crowdfunding is it can be whatever. The stress with crowdfunding is the results can be well. I mean, I will see the. I would say, I don't. I do not enjoy the process of crowdfunding, i.e., all the work that goes with it. But it's a lot. But it's also how you're able to get this stuff done. So you know. Find that the crowdfunders are the most successful are the ones where the artists are connected with their audience. That's true. I mean, I think it's tough though because the Kickstarter audience is different than, like Victor's audience. I imagine would be more like Marvel, people who've read Marvel comics, and that doesn't really necessarily translate to people just following you on whatever you do. Like Rocky, you for example, you take an interest and you look stuff up, and if you like a creator's work, you'll kind of dig around a bit and look at more stuff, which is, I mean, that's to me is the perfect audience because it means no matter what I do, you'll at least check it out. You'll probably follow it or check it out. Your not to sound too mercenary or anything, but like that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who will, no matter what I do, will at least check it out because it's someone who will support you trying something new and different, which is huge. But like when I did Injection after Moon Knight, a lot of people just wanted to know what I was doing at Marvel next. They didn't really care that I was doing something creator owned. And that's not everybody, of course, but it's certainly a certain percentage. So it can be tough taking chances like that. But rewarding though, Like I was able to spend years trying to build an audience who'll support whatever I do. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. But you never know. Oh, sorry, I'm rambling now. Sorry, it is. To be fair, it is 11 o'clock for me. I've heard about Ignition Press. Yeah, I have. Victor, I was talking to Jamie at. I was at their launch event in New York. I didn't really get to talk to them too much about what they're doing necessarily, but Jamie's great, and Jeremy's very passionate about doing, creator and stuff and empowering artists and stuff. So they're good bunch of guys. So I'm curious what they're going to do. I don't think I really have an audience. I mean, I know what you mean, man. Because superhero readers don't necessarily translate over into, you know, dedicated fans necessarily, but I think, you know what, doing your own thing like you are now, I think is a way to build, is to actually find an audience, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't need people who read Old Dog to read Mystique, but then again, no harm if they do. If people who read Old Dog read Mystique, maybe that'll show Marvel that I have an audience that will bring readership to a character. Who knows? That'd be cool. But, you know, I'm definitely more interested in people reading Mystique who will hopefully then go and pick up Old Dog. And I don't know if that audience exists, but, you know, it's worth trying. Still having fun. You know, it's not like I didn't like working on Mystique. I loved working on it, so it's win-win for me. I get to do something I enjoy no matter what, and hopefully it can both support each other, you know. Rocky, are you an Emmy-nominated animation director and 25-year animation industry veteran? I know nothing about you other than the YouTube video. That was about me. One of the things I admire about your career path, Tech, is that you are doing both mainstream work and your own creator stuff. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, me too, man. Well, you know, it's what I like anyway. You know, I wish I could say that, like, you know, oh, this is how you do it. This is the plan. But it makes sense to me because I do genuinely like both. You know, I love creator-owned books, and I love superhero stuff, mainstream stuff. So it would not make, you know, it'd be silly for me to be like, I'm never going to do this again. No, I like it. So I'm in a fortunate position where, you know, some people get stuck, pigeonholed. Like, say, maybe Victor, I don't know, you might feel like this, that you might be pigeonholed as a mainstream superhero guy, and some are stuck in that. And there's others. I remember hearing stories saying that, like, Chris Samnee can't do superheroes. You know, I'm telling you for a fact that a publisher said that about Chris Samnee, that, like, oh no, he's just a Vertigo artist. And then you go and you see he's basically, I think, the quintessential superhero artist. He can do anything, you know, absolutely anything. But you can be pigeonholed into one or the other. And I'm lucky that I get to do both. And ideally, both will help the other. But, like, not everyone is in that position. So, again, wasn't my plan, but I'm trying to make the most of the lucky position I'm already in, you know. Excuse me. Like, not everybody is able to, like, you know, go and do Mystique and then go back and do their own thing. Not, you know, it's I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's not very, very common. And, you know, I think it keeps me what's the word I'm looking for? Not humble, because I'm not humble. I appreciate the positives and negatives of both. You know, if Marvel does a variant cover for a book of mine and I think the art sucks or something, I'm just throwing that out there. As a possible example, you know, it's not my book, it's not my product. It's, you know, the editors have their own thing that they want to do, so you have to kind of have to take the rough with the smooth. With creator owned, I ask whoever I want, but I also don't have the budgets that the companies do. So I might want somebody but can't afford them. You know, creator owned, you're always promoting your own stuff. Whereas with the the work for hire stuff, you know, the machine kind of does it. So it stops me from getting too frustrated with either side of things, because, you know, there's pluses and negatives to you see, Victor, I'm not good at talking. Both have pros and cons, and working in both aspects of it keeps me keeps me honest. Are you able to say how you landed a Mystique gig? Was a specific editor that approached you, or did you pitch the idea to powers that be? It's a good question. And Victor, I'm sure that it's way, way harder write another established characters than your own stuff. Definitely your imagination is another level. I don't know about that, man. You just gotta, if you try it. It was intimidating and it was a challenge, and it's worked out, and I'm quite happy and very relieved. But to answer your question, Rocky, and I'll probably call it a night after this because this is pretty much done now and I have to pack. But no, I actually emailed Tom Brevoort when I found out he was taking over the X-Men line, and I haven't worked with Tom that much, like one-on-one, just on projects, but like not directly. And I just kind of said to him, I was like, look, I literally said, I'm sorry to be that guy, because I'm sure everybody's getting onto you, but I love the X-Men, and I just want to say, if you're, keep me in mind if you like, no worries either way. I was a bit nervous to do it because I felt a bit like a jerk, but he got back to me and he thanked me. He said he wouldn't have known that I was a big fan of the X-Men unless I told him, which I think is a very good point. I think you expect editors to just know what you want to do, but if you don't tell them, how are they going to know? So then he basically gave me some options he asked what type of stuff I'd like to do, and then I told him, and then he clearly already had a line of books in mind, so he offered me some options, and one of them was Mystique, and there was another one I was interested in doing, and I hummed and hawed over it, but I went with Mystique in the end, because the editor I was assigned to Darren Shan, and it was just supposed to be writing a book, but then Darren suggested Mystique with me drawing it, and that was fairly compelling. So yeah, I wasn't actually planning on drawing a book. I was just going to write it, but then Mystique showed up, and also, if I'm being completely honest, I thought this wouldn't hurt, old dog, doing something in the same genre, so it could be win-win, and it was. Yeah, so I would have liked it to be like that Marvel recognized my genius and were begging me to do a book, but it was a mix of me inquiring about a project as a writer, and then it kind of developing into something for me to write and draw, so it's kind of back and forth that way. So yeah, that was that. Okay, I think I'm done, guys. What is it now? It's nearly 11:30. Okay, I have so much to do. I have to do a cover rough for a publisher and get that out the door, and I have to pack. What else do I have to do? I have a list somewhere. Wow, I think it's a perfect book for you, especially Ride on the Heels of Old Dog. Yeah, me too. I mean, I wasn't. It just right project at the right time for sure. So I'm really happy. It worked out great. I'm really happy with it, and it's all. I'm finished on it now. The last issue's out next month. But no, I'm really, really, really proud of it. Like, I think it's a very different book to all the other books. It's very me. I think I wanted to be a bit ballsy. It's the type of book I'd like to read, so I think I'm quite happy with it. How it does, I have no idea how the sales are. I see some good reviews, but I've no idea what people actually think of it. But it looks good. It seems like people like it, so I'm very satisfied. But anyway, yeah, I'm blabbing again. So the drawing was awesome. Thanks so much, man. Hope you do. Yeah, I will try do it more. I don't know. This was good. I don't know about the difference between Twitch and YouTube at this stage. I don't know which I get more out of, but I owe more people sketches and stuff, so I definitely do it some more. I just don't know how much, but thanks for keeping me company, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, all right, sure. Yeah, have a good week and everything. And Victor, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess, whenever you're getting in. Oh, you don't use Twitch. Okay, right. Well, you're my target audience, Rocky. I'm gonna have to just stay with whatever you want. Okay, you get in Friday. Okay, I'll see you Friday. So, Victor. All right. Excellent. Okay, how do I stop this? There we go. Right, catch you later, guys. Thanks.